Hello, I'm Reverend Roberta Finkelstein, the interim minister at the Unitarian Society of Ridgewood.
And I'm Barry Finkelstein, one of the Unitarian Universalist Association Congregational Stewardship Consultants, and we're here to have a conversation about stewardship and ministry. So Roberta, why don't you start by telling us what role does worship have in stewardship?
What I would like to do is turn that question around and ask, what role does stewardship have in worship? Worship is where we reflect on things that are of ultimate importance to us. The components of stewardship: generosity and gratitude as spiritual practices, embracing a culture of abundance, and holding a beloved community in trust for future generations. All of those are values that I address in worship regularly throughout the year.
Well, Roberta, does that mean that the minister should be preaching about money?
No, I don't preach about money. I preach about values and practices. But I do think I should be able to talk about money in the context of those values and practices. Money is a tool. The subject of money is no more or less acceptable than any other subject that we talk about when we're thinking about how to most effectively live out our mission.
Well, that's helpful. Well, here's a question that I hear all the time. Is our minister supposed to be asking people for money directly? Wouldn't that be like gaining donations for the minister's own salary?
People are asked to pledge to the entire operating budget of the congregation, not to any particular line item. Sure, my compensation comes out of the budget, but so do a lot of other things. When I have stewardship conversations, I ask people to think about the overall budget and mission of the congregation. And you know, I pledge to every congregation I serve, and I don't think of it as kicking back to my own salary.
Well, our own minister is uncomfortable talking about money. What can we do about that?
It is possible sometimes with some coaching to get people more comfortable, but I have to tell you, if your minister can't get past that discomfort, don't ask them to talk about money. Talking about it uncomfortably can do more harm than good.
That makes sense to me, Roberta. Another question that I hear is, shouldn't our finances be private?
Of course they should. Stewardship conversations are not about your private financial situation. They're about your commitment to your beloved community and how you can most effectively be part of the process of sharing with financial resources to keep the congregation healthy.
Well, how much should the minister know about specific pledges or giving amounts of individual members?
As an interim minister, I have it written into my contract that I will have access to all pledge data. The only way I can effectively advise the leadership in how to conduct a really zesty stewardship campaign is to have the big picture of pledging practices across the board. It's also a matter of trust between minister and congregation. You know, people ask me to hold a lot of things in confidence, and I do so in a trustworthy way. You can assume that your minister will hold pledge data in that same kind of trust.
That's helpful, Roberta.